No, we're not on the edge. I thought we could be on the edge, but we've surpassed it.
I don't know, it's borderline laughable at some of the greens and some of the pin positions when you're actually almost better off plugged in a bunker than being on top of a ridge.
Unfortunately, they've lost the golf course. Mud ball!
Hello and welcome to the inaugural podcast from the team at Turfs Up in association with ICL. This is our first podcast, so I guess we should really introduce ourselves and what the podcast is all about. Myself and Jack are both course managers from the Northeast, and we have a real passion for the industry. We started doing some silly online videos a few years back, and it's escalated into this. So Jack, do you want to tell people what Turfs Up's all about?
If we were playing word association, I would say time consuming. Right. No, it's just a laugh, isn't it? We've already got a good relationship there, and it's kind of escalated into this beautiful waste of time where we're trying to start off as making educational videos, and now it's kind of, I couldn't tell you what it is, to be honest, but here we are sat in a room doing a podcast. So.
I mean, it's meant to be a light-hearted look at the industry, isn't it? And hopefully, share some knowledge to different people, isn't it? And hopefully get an engagement from people.
That would be nice. I think a big part of my career within this industry has been engaging with other greenkeepers. And if we could get engagement from, well, anybody, to be honest, with this podcast and what we do on Twitter at Turfs Up Golf, or on Facebook as well.
We're having reaction from, aren't we? So
yeah, it's going well, to be honest. But obviously, if we're going to be releasing these podcasts each week, it would be nice to have some interaction from people.
Definitely. I mean, a hope and an aim from these podcasts is to get a real interest from everyone involved in golf course management, but not only that, the wider golf community as well.
So yeah, if you anything takes your fancy, if you want to get in touch, if you feel like we're talking absolute rubbish and you want to correct us, then please do.
We have somebody that we should probably introduce now, shouldn't we? Who always tells them we're talking rubbish. So welcome to the podcast, producer Adam.
Hello, you all right?
Yeah, we should have probably had a better jingle for that, because this is the first time he's on.
Yeah, but I would have had to make it.
He's actually the only person that knows what he's talking about in this podcast. He kind of keeps her right in.
We've definitely professionalised the outfit.
It looks professional.
And, I mean, if somebody walked in the room, the term that comes to mind from me and Jack is all the gear but no idea. But obviously, you have an idea, Adam, quite clearly.
Well, now we're sitting down with some great names within the industry and recording podcasts.
Exactly.
We've got a sponsor in ICL, so we shouldn't downtrod ourselves too much.
I've just counted there. There's 52 knobs on the table, and that's not including us three.
Well, moving swiftly on from that, hopefully that's all the team introduced. The format for these podcasts, they've all been pre-recorded, and then we're going to record an intro and an exit every week. So if there's anything you'd like to get in touch with us about, if you want us to cover anything in particular, or just any correspondence, if you want to have a bit of crap with us.
Yeah, and we also like to know any funny stories that people have.
Especially funny stories,
anything to do with the funniest greenkeeping story to the funniest member story.
So you can get in touch with us via email at info@turfsupgolf.com or on Facebook and Twitter at Turfs Up Golf.
So this leads us on to the next part of the podcast. Adam is a golf fanatic. So Adam, what's been happening in the world of golf this week?
Well, it's been, for so early in the season, it's been an amazing week, obviously, for golf. We've had what was probably a fairly controversial event out in Saudi Arabia for political reasons. But actually, in terms of the golf story that came out of that, the biggest thing was obviously Sergio Garcia being disqualified in round 3 or after round 3 for damaging supposedly 5 different greens, which obviously the whole of the golf media is picking up on at the minute. I think it's fairly unprecedented that a golfer on the European Tour has been disqualified for such an infringement.
He got attacked by a snake in the bunker as well, didn't he?
Something was upsetting him when he was in the bunker in the round before. He was obviously in a bad place all week. You could see from his reaction, but obviously that spilled over. And we've seen Sergio do it before. We've seen him lob his driver into the hedge and then have to go and try and find it, and a slightly embarrassed look on his face. He's spat into the hole. he's got previous.
Yeah,
but
he
this
hasn't
actually
just
went
braid
to
that bunker either. Like he
No.
likes to braid a few bunkers.
and that's the thing. But in this occasion, he's gone to a level which has then affected the golfers behind him. So apparently, it was 4 or 5 groups behind had complained about damage on the green. Now, there's no footage of this. He was out early, and I don't think it was recorded. There were some pictures that emerged, particularly of one green where it looked like quite a shallow divot had been taken from it. And I think, what was being talked about was that he'd whacked one of them with his putter and taken a chunk out of it. And on other ones, I think he deliberately kind of scuffed and scraped his feet. So,
It's not
from
pretty.
from a
it's
golfer's
not,
point
is
of view, it you look at that and it doesn't look good. But the interesting thing I want to find out from you guys is actually as people who look after the courses, how does that feel to you when you see somebody on the top level taking out their frustrations on the course itself?
It's the younger generation that are coming into the game, and people like Sergio Garcia, or people that like certainly your young one, Adam, will look up towards, won't he? A player, maybe he's not him, he might not be his hero, but when they're at the top of the game, they're watching them all the time, aren't they? And it's quite sad to see. I mean, you see it, at club golf anyway, like level, you do see it when people get frustrated. But I actually have a little bit more of a soft spot to that, because maybe they aren't that good, and maybe they do get frustrated. But when you're at the top of the game, like you've got to be careful of what you do, because you are role models to everyone else who's playing, aren't they? Yeah, exactly.
I mean, from my point of view, all golfers are the same. No, I'm only joking. We're all entitled to a bad day. He's had a stinker there, and it's on a world stage, so he's going to get a lot of hassle for that. I'm sure we'll all have stories from golfers damaging the golf course. It's painful to see coming in the morning, checking the course over. And
I've got a couple of opinions on it, actually, Adam. I was going to say them to you. I think the guy he was playing with maybe should have picked up on it a bit quicker. He's let it get to the end of the round. If he's took a divot out of a green, I'm sorry, but if I was playing with him, I think I'd have told him.
I think it was the rounds, or the groupings behind him that were the ones that flagged it. But then you've got to think about, it's Sergio Garcia. How often have you maybe played in the local competition with and Sergio you might Garcia. See something that you're not sure about, but you felt awkward about bringing that up? You've got Paratore, who's a young lad, playing with him against arguably an icon of modern golf, who we know is hot-headed, but you watch him and do you just go, come on, you're being an idiot, or do you just actually let him work it out? Because when someone's lost their cool to that degree,
to then chip in,
you've got to be pretty big if you're going to stand up against him and sort of go.
But we should be encouraging that as well.
Yeah. I mean,
so how? I mean, you must have been. If you see that done, if an amateur golfer does that, I know you say you've got some sympathy towards them, but would that not just anger you? That
well, I'll tell you a story. That I have played in a game at like club level, and actually physically lost my own cool with my own game because I've seen a divot taken out of my own green, and I just thought, well, I'm just going to walk off. And I walked off after 6 holes. And you just think to yourself, well, actually, that's how much you care about something, isn't it? Like when you and the guys will be the same at the, when you've got a tour event as well, all damages you care about, the whole fixing process and everything, it's
hard. I mean, if you come in and you see it after the fact, it's just disappointing, and if you see it happening, if you see somebody doing it, you cannot lose your cool. I mean, Craig Boath, we're covering in this podcast, he sees somebody driving over the green, middle of a competition, with a buggy, and you cannot go up and shout and swear at them. You just have to not lose your cool. As much as you do, Ken, as much as you do want to shout and swear at them, it just doesn't gain respect, and you think you don't want to create an us versus them, because if they lose respect, they're just going to do it all the more. So it's such a hard balance to find.
I think that was why I took myself out that situation that day.
It's probably the best thing you could have done.
Yeah, and it's not an easy thing to deal with.
you must feel there's a complete element of disrespect for what you do, for your profession, because there's disrespect to the competition, there's disrespect to your playing partner, and these are what happens when golfers lose it and get angry, and it affects other people. But this is a disrespect for your profession. Or the people in Saudi Arabia had prepared that course.
I think you've mentioned there you're losing your cool, so you're not thinking, "Oh, this is disrespectful." It's like a snap decision, and you've lost your cool. But for him to do that when he knows the cameras are on him, he is. I wouldn't know many people that would do that, and you haven't really seen it that often. So he really has lost the plot, and he's not thinking about anything else apart from being purely selfish. So it's a tricky one. I think that's that's going to haunt him for a long time now.
Yeah,
and
it's going to be interesting how he bounces back.
Yeah.
Does he just go and hide off for a while and hope it dies down? I mean, the European Tour aren't taking it any further, apparently. He's been DQ'd, but he's not getting any kind of ban or anything like that.
He's given us a lot of good moments in golf, and I feel like this is probably going to overshadow quite a lot of them, isn't it? It's
one of the things that was talked about earlier in the week, or maybe that led to his annoyance, was actually the greens. So there were some complaints from Sergio maybe, or from some of the players about the actual greens.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, Paspalum, is it?
Paspalum, yeah.
Paspalum. Not. I mean, I don't know about these grass types.
Mine and Stu Heckles are going up, getting ready to defend the greenkeepers on the ground.
So what was it about the greens? They were talking about, was it the grass type? They also said because it's a new course, that they were maybe struggling to read the breaks more because this was newly laid green and it hasn't had time to bed in. Is there anything you can put to that? Is this something that is true?
I have this opinion that it doesn't matter whatever golf course you walk onto, it's the exact same for every competitor.
I think with every competition, you will never ever get every competitor walking off thinking them greens were great. You're always going to have a difference of opinion, and like Stu said, it's the same for everyone. You just have to get on with whatever. I wasn't on that team. I don't know the ins and outs. I could sit here and speculate, but that would be wrong of me to do so. So I wouldn't like to touch on that. I would just say it's the same for everyone. And expectation versus reality. Reality is always reality, regardless of what expectation you put on it. It doesn't matter. I mean, that might be, he might have been expecting something different. He's turned up and it's not that. But at the end of the day, it's the same for everybody, and he's the only one that's lost his plot. I mean, in the bunker, it was because a caddy hadn't raked the bunker properly. Is that the reason behind it?
Yeah, it was after his first shot he couldn't get out, and he was moaning that it was raked badly. Second shot he got it out, but obviously his rage had spilled over for such a length of time that even though he got out the bunker second attempt, he was just going to lose it.
Yeah.
But bunkers are hazards. They're not meant to be perfect, are they? My opinion of a bunker is it's got to be a challenge. Don't know. Should we expect a perfect surface in a bunker?
But it comes back to expectation versus reality, isn't it? The reality of it is bunkers, they're not going to be consistent. They are meant to be a hazard. He's expected it raked by a greenkeeper, and it's been raked by a caddy, not to the standard that he expects. So instead of having a word with a caddy, he's talking it out. He's talking it out on the bunker.
Yeah. So I think that probably covers the main talking point from
golf. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Not a great note to start on, but that's what's happened. So you've got to.
We're going to try and cover these topics out. It's nice to get. So if anybody else has got any feedback or anything that they
somebody must have some stories out there. Come on, get in touch with. If you've seen a member losing the plot on your golf course, tell us the circumstances. Tell us how you dealt with it. I'm sure we'll get some funny correspondence.
Especially if he's took a divot out of green and then in rage fell into a bunker or something afterwards. I'd love to hear that.
I like it when they throw the clubs backwards instead of forwards, so they have to walk backwards to get the club.
I think one thing we should make clear is any stories we can make anonymous.
Yeah.
Yes. You don't need to say any names. So if you've lost your temper on a golf course, we don't need to say any name.
But other than that, I think that's probably us for golf this week. Anything in the world of greenkeeping that has come up and interested you this week?
Just a load of snow and people wanting perfect greens.
Yeah, we've had a cold snap, which to be honest, it's been quite welcome for me. It's not
last month for me.
Last month I was cutting fairways and semi rough, and it's unheard of. But I've been kind of itching to get the lads on doing the winter maintenance on the machines. So pretty standard week, to be honest. After BTME, nice to have
it's a bit of a dull week after BTME, isn't it? For a bit of snow to come along and not have a list of jobs longer than the arm to still be cracking on with outside. Like it's not too bad. Although
That's mine and your take on it. There'll be people out
Exactly,
there like grafting.
exactly. What you gonna do for the snow? Nah, I mean, for fairway recovery down at our place, it's a little bit of a setback, but it's
You've
not
got to
too
take it,
bad.
haven't you? It's winter at the end of the day.
But obviously, the golf industry show in San Diego kicked off, didn't it?
yeah,
So,
I mean,
for any of our American friends out there that wants to get in touch, please do.
let us know how your show's been, and yeah. Obviously, you've had the 10 lads from the Bernard's delegation going over there, so they were at BTME in Harrogate, and then they've hopped on a flight over to San Diego, so their livers, I'd imagine their livers will be suffering by the time they get home.
Yeah, you did that, Jack, didn't you?
I done it 2 years ago, yeah. I'm very jealous that I'm not out there again, but you can only do it once, apparently.
We just need a little bit more funding, and we'll
Well,
get there.
if these podcasts go well, we might do.
Is that a little shout to ICL there?
Well,
is it?
possibly
Yeah.
might mean I'll get a text message after this. Yeah,
If everybody could just get in contact with the ICL rep and, buy some products and then...
how many golf courses is there in the country? Oh, there's a stat that we should have found out
Yeah, I'm not
beforehand.
Googling that.
There must be.
I
Is there 1,000? Say.
would think there's more than that. I don't know.
I don't know. Why are you looking at me?
Because you're the Wales kid.
Computer.
I've only played about 6 of them.
Just thinking if everyone bought 1 litre of C-Max, we could probably get over there, couldn't we?
1 litre C-Max. So to would cover this first podcast, I suppose that's what we're here for. We're
Exactly,
sitting
I was
waffling
just-
on, and people are wanting, expecting to hear a podcast, and it's just us talking our normal crap.
Right, for our first interview, we went straight to the top of the game. We spoke to Craig Boath from Carnoustie Golf Links about hosting a major championship. And in particular, we wanted to find out about the recovery process afterwards. Today, we are joined by a leading name in the greenkeeping industry, working at Carnoustie for over 23 years as head greenkeeper of the championship course for last year's Open. He's recently been appointed to Links Superintendent at Carnoustie, but for many, he will be remembered for the photo bombing of Francesco Molinari's moment with the claret jug. Welcome to the podcast, Craig Boath.
Thank you very much.
So, Craig, yeah, how was that moment with Molinari on the 18th green of your own golf course?
It was quite special. Yeah, I didn't think I would manage to get myself into the TV, but that was pretty well done by the RNA.
I must admit, I watched it on the telly and I was chuffed a bit for you, to be
I
honest with you.
was
Like, it was
cheering you on,
absolutely
like, seeing you there.
classic.
It was good.
It was.
So can you take us back to the beginning? When was it announced that the Open would be returned to Carnoustie? And from there, when did the preparations begin?
I can't remember when it was announced again, but something at Carnoustie, we're always preparing for an Open.
Yeah.
We've always got that goal in sight. We're always doing things, whether it be changes on the course or top dressing, continual development of the course. It's always towards the Open.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're always on going towards it.
And then once it's announced, does everything just increase and it's all on steroids? Is it, right, come on, let's get this
Yeah,
in?
it kind of just ramps up a little bit, and then of course the winter before the Open, that's when it ramps up. You're getting all your bunkers done, you're redoing bunkers, and just prepping the course. Just fine tuning things. And
When do you start drafting help in then? Is it as early as the year before, or
we are quite lucky. We've got 3 golf courses at Carnoustie, so you could pull guys in from the other courses. There in the winter, we had guys from the Budden and the Burnside course. They came in and helped out. And we just split the squad up and mixed everybody together. So it was good help from. It was good team effort. It was really all pulled together. There wasn't any bitching or fighting. Or,
I suppose everyone's
which always-
excited about it, aren't they?
Everyone's, you've got that
you're
buzz,
always
haven't you?
worried who to put who with who, but no, it worked out really well.
So how many men are you talking about? Because you're talking about putting people with certain other people, and I would imagine that's quite a task in itself.
Yeah, well, we've got 32 guys over the 3 courses, and that's including mechanics at Carnoustie. So we've got a big team. Yeah, but you've got to work out who you're putting with who and who's best to work with who.
So do the guys have like certain courses they would normally work on, or is it just like a
we'll sometimes rotate that as well, so they can go from course to course. There's always opportunity with us.
So obviously, like the RNA are involved in the tournament, but like, did they have any like specific ideas or plans, or like how they wanted the course set up?
It's always hard. They always come 2-3 years out and they're looking at the course and looking at things, but it's always the weather that dictates what's going to happen. You know, they want the place firm and fast, but if it's wet, like 2007 Open, you know, it was really wet, but we still had the course playing firm. You know, it was. But that's top dressing and, you know, the continual greenkeeping things.
It's got to be challenging, like the year that we've just had. I mean, you know, like, I mean, links course myself and the place just burned out. There's nothing much we can do, but when you're at like the top level, you don't want to see your golf course just like, you know, disappear in front of you. But like at times there was nothing you could do.
No,
really, was there?
We were quite close, and Arnie were wanting to push it as much as they could. But there was a point on I think it was maybe the Friday night, we had to put some water on some fairways because of the 17th fairway pros, they couldn't play a short enough club to stop them before going into the burn. We had to put a wee bit of water on there just to give it a little bit of softness. You know, you're not talking a lot of water, you're talking about 3 mil of water. That was just enough just to soften it down a wee bit.
Soften it up a bit.
How hard is that relationship then with the RNA? Is it strained at times, or do you enjoy having them there?
It's pretty good. I quite enjoy having them. You know, people say they're quite got the stiff upper lip and things like that, but no, I really enjoyed working with them. I think something that myself and Sandy, we always had a laugh with them, you know, and that kind of made them feel at ease as well. Yeah. We were always, if they had a problem, we would always try and fix the problem or you know, anything. We would do anything to help it out. And that was something that we got on quite well with them with.
Yeah.
So you had Mackenzie Nieberton advising in advance of the Open. What were the major changes you made to the course for the championship?
For this one, the third fairway. The third hole's always been a tricky hole. We've changed it so many times. It's a short par 4. We had bunkers in the middle of the fairway, and there was a little bit of rough down the right-hand side, but this year we opened up the fairway on the right-hand side just to give pros another option, and it really made them think. A lot of pros quite liked that change, even though it was just a simple change, but it was something we were always wanting to do ourselves, and we said that to Martin Ebert.
So you're not just making changes for the golfers, though, are you? It's also about the stands and the crowds that are going to attend the Open. Is that frustrating that you have to do that to the golf course in order to host the Open, or is it just part and parcel?
It's part and parcel, but it's quite exciting. You know, there was a good example at the 8th, 9th tee and 12th green. We did a lot of mounding there, and when you see loads of people on it during the Open, you know, like we've done a good job there. We've done a good job there because people are crowd. You know, there are loads of people on that mound, and you think, well, that's been a good change.
Yeah. So what about like your renovation work, like bunkers? I mean, I heard you did some sort of bunker camp. It sounds like an interesting idea. I'm not sure where you got that one from.
I don't know. I got this idea in my head. I think it was my own idea. I stole that from you.
Get in. But I mean, they're good fun to put on. I mean, it looked quite successful. The pictures that you'd put on social media and stuff. So we
got involved with Elmwood College. Got some of their students along, and it was fun for them to learn how to build a bunker. And in fact, we take on 3 seasonals every year, and we got 2 seasonals from that bunker camp. 2 Spanish guys, Victor and Pablo, and it was good to see them working, doing the bunkers, and then of course bringing them on. You know, that was good. Yeah.
So at what stage did all the Open infrastructure start appearing out in the course? The grandstands, the tented villages, the TV compounds, and how did that impact on your day-to-day maintenance of the course?
So the started the second week of April, and the first stand to go up, I think there was a little bit the 18th, did a little bit there, and then it all depended on where. Well, of course, we didn't have any rain this year, but we had a plan of where they would go, if it was going to be really wet or things like that. Yeah, it was good planning. The tented village, I can't really remember, but you know, it was all such a blur sometimes. You know,
is that over like the existing golf course where like all the tented village goes, or do you have like a sort of specific area where you would put it?
So the tented village is on we have a junior course, so it was over that. Some of the grandstands were over the Burnside and the Budden course, so there was a few restrictions in play for the Budden and Burnside.
Yeah. I mean, was it ruined underneath? That's what I want to know. You know, like
yeah. Well, the hospitality unit was all the way down to 18th to the Burnside, and we're playing it as a par 3 just now because it's just needing time to recover.
Yeah.
You know, probably if it was a wet year, it might have come back quicker than what it did. But
Yeah.
did like. What I want to know is like, do people get in your way and all these like these contractors are a bit of a nightmare or
imagine
not,
it's
or
chaos,
they're not too badly?
yeah, I mean, we've been lucky enough to have a few events at Carnoustie, and you get guys that just go anywhere with a forklift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just there to do their job, and
And then of course you got your TV and people they go anywhere with a buggy. You know,
I can imagine.
Senior Open in 2010, we had a TV crew just go right down the middle of the 16th green with a buggy, and you're like, what
can
are
I
you
ask
doing?
what your reaction to that was? Did you swear or?
For goodness sake, you can't do that.
Yeah. So like, take us to the championship week. You know, what is it actually like? You know, for your golf course to host like the Open Championship. It's a lot of greenkeepers' dreams to do it, and you know, you've managed to do that.
I don't know. It's just. It is a great week. You know, it's a 2 weeks. You know, the week before as well. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. You're trying to manage everybody, all your staff. You're trying to look calm and cool, but sometimes you're a bit, you know, God, this is not the way I was wanting this to go, or you know, it was so dry. We're having to do a lot of hand watering. But yeah, it's a great week, a great buzz. Just chatting to the players, to the caddies, you know, Army officials. Yeah, I don't want to sound fake either. You know, it is a good week.
Yeah,
you know, there obviously is bits that you're annoyed about. Things here and there. You know, like having a hand water. We're hand watering until 11:30 at night. Some nights, you know. I mean, like, what's the pressure like? Like, and seriously, like, you know, is it a real pressure, or are you just like taking it in your stride? We're doing, you know, things like the Dunhill and that, or is there a lot of pressure behind it? I think because we get the Dunhill every year, and we've had a lot of tournaments in the run up. You know, I think I'm in a kind of a nice place that I'm used to a tournament, and you know how to react to things, and you know how to manage your time and manage the guys. So it's quite hard to say. It's a good week. You know, you have a good laugh. I think if you get everybody having a laugh, that kind of makes your week go easier.
Obviously, the Open's like on the next level. Like, is there a moment where you think, shit? Like, we're hosting the Open. Like, I'm thinking like all these stands going on, and your course changing, and I'm just thinking,
must be like one day it just twigs in your mind, going, oh God, this is actually happening.
When you go to sleep at night, you must just lie and think, oh no, like this is actually happening, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, the Wednesday night, it was kind of, I just couldn't sleep. I was just thinking, shit, this is happening. It's happening tomorrow, you know. But it had taken that long to come round, and then all of a sudden that. You know, you're talking from the week before, and then, God, you're at Wednesday already, and the tournament's starting tomorrow.
It's like when you volunteer, the week just goes over so quickly.
Yeah,
and you can like imagine that it's the same for like, you know.
But it's fun for us when we volunteer.
I mean, we go home, we don't have to deal with all the stress afterwards. Like, well,
I went down to see, you know, that I wanted to go down and see. I went down to see the players teeing off. I did that. I wanted to make sure that I went to see that. So. Yeah. And then I came back again. I wanted to see Tiger tee off because I just wanted to hear the buzz, just because he was back again.
I mean, that's a great thing for golf, isn't it?
Really? Yeah.
Speaking about volunteers, how much extra help do you bring in for the championship, like numbers wise?
Well, as I said, we're quite lucky. We've got a big team over the 3 courses, but all the R&A venues, they put up, all the open venues, they put up one guy to help out. So you've got an extra 10 guys coming in.
And is that for the week of?
That is for, normally at any venue it's 2 weeks, but we just had them for the week.
Right.
Because we were okay.
Did you see much of your family in that week?
That's a good question.
Do you live on site even?
Do you want my wife to answer that?
I think we might bring a red eye.
Yeah, it was hard. For about a month, hardly saw her. She maybe liked that. I don't know.
But you've got kids as well, though, Craig.
Yeah, I've got 4 girls, so I had to make time to have a day with them. So I think it was the Friday they came down, and we just walked through the tented village and things like that. I watched a wee bit of golf. I don't think they were interested. But my wife had some gin. Yeah, she was happy. Yeah, and then the Sunday I had I've got 4 girls, so the older 2 they came down and they watched from the grandstand behind the 18th green. So yeah, it was good.
So did you take them all away on holiday to say thank you? Or
no? Next year.
So the final putt's been sung. You've had your moment on the 18th of Molinari. What's next? Can you relax? Did you have any time off? What's the next golf being played?
That week I did a lot of long hours. You're there you're going in at 4 o'clock in the morning. You're getting home at 11:30 at night. You're just the Monday. Well, the Sunday night I had a few beers and I went home and I just went to my bed. And the PR guy from the R&A, he was texting me, he was phoning me. Molinari's back on the Monday just to do a photo shoot with the trophy, and I was like, nah. I'm not going. No, I'm too tired. But I went back in later on the afternoon, and it's just I had to walk about the course. It's just you kind of just taking in what you had that week, and then after it, you're kind of on a downer. After that, you're
like the tournament blues.
Yeah, you're trying to pick guys up, and it's quite hard to pick yourself up. But you eventually get over it, and then you're going towards the Dunhill, and then, of course, Sandy Reid, my boss at the time, he was Links Superintendent. He put his notice in. He was away at St Andrews as Director of Greenkeeping. So then I was going through a kind of sleepless time, thinking, God, am I going to get this job, or somebody else going to get the job? So you don't know.
Yeah. So obviously, is there much you can do with the course when all that open, infrastructure's there?
No.
I can imagine it's
you just kind of praying for the weather.
You want to get hold of it straight away for the recovery. Then.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but it's quite hard. You're trying to pick your guys up to do recovery, and you can't expect a lot from them because they've poured their heart into the whole 2 weeks. 2-3 weeks. So
how long does it actually take for them to remove all the infrastructure?
They were out of there by the start of September.
So it's still a decent chunk of time.
Yeah, still a decent,
I suppose there'll be a lot of people wanting to play golf with the infrastructure still there.
Yeah, so we were open at 6:30 on the Monday morning for
visitor
golf.
tea times?
Yep.
Oh my God.
For it was all patrons of the R&A and visitors.
So, were you cutting greens and stuff that day?
No.
No, I cannot. Bless the lads, to be fair.
No, they got a day off. You couldn't expect them to come in again.
Yeah.
So 2018 was the record attendance for the Open at Carnoustie with 170,000 people walking on the links.
Yeah.
What sort of damage did that do?
It was actually not too bad. I was expecting quite a long recovery in the roughs and things like that, but they come back pretty good. It was more the fairways, you guys will know yourself, you're thinking your finer grasses will withstand that heat, but it's actually I'm getting more crap coming through in my fairways and things like that, and it's.
That's been a hellish year. We're growing a lot of crap at Dunstable at the minute. Adam, you might have to take that out, actually.
So, what have you done to aid the recovery? Obviously, recovery from all the spectators, but the heat as well.
It's quite hard. You're kind of relying on your wetting agent program and things like that. But even still, I think we got to a point in the week where that was probably the time, we let it go dry for that long. That was probably the point where we should have been putting water on. And we normally would have water on the fairways, because we get a serious amount of golf. We get 45,000 rounds a year, which is
immense, isn't it?
Plus you've got caddy footprint on top of that as well. So we would normally have, water on. So
do you just re-wet everything, see what comes back naturally?
Yeah, and
was
then
there much overseeding, or is it?
Yeah, we've done a lot of overseeding in fairways, bumps, things like that. We've kind of gone back to the past again, where that was the thing we'd done in the past. We were treating bumps separately with a different program, a little bit extra feed and more wetting agent and things like that. So we've kind of gone back in time to get us going again, and overseeding fairways. I've pumped a lot of seed in.
So obviously, we've talked about the championship course, but there's still another couple of courses. And the last we seen of the Burnside, as you said, it was under hospitality. So how do you even think about getting that back?
Yeah, it's quite hard. Yeah, it's.
Well, what's the damage? Is it just lack of sunlight?
Lack of sunlight. Yep. The contractors would dig a bit of turf out to put their wooden platform for their structure to go on. So there's all that to get repaired. It's just other odd jobs here in our patching where TV towers have been and things like that. So it's not just the championship; it's on the other two as well.
Yeah.
So what kind of workforce do you have for the recovery? Obviously, you get a lot of volunteers in building up with the championship. But what about the aftermath? Is it just you back to your normal staffing levels, or is there extra staffing to help with the recovery?
Yeah, it's just back to the normal stuff.
I can imagine the lads are like.
Well, I suppose from such a high, there's going to be a natural slump, isn't there?
Yeah, there is that. Yeah. You can't expect too much from them afterwards. You've got you get that down. You get that just open blues. And you just have to just ride through it. You just let them.
How long does that last?
It's just still that. You've brought it all back. Kind of emotional. You're talking 3 weeks to 4 weeks.
So as we said at the start, you've now moved on to the post of Links Superintendent. Of Carnoustie. What does that entail? And I must say, congratulations, because it's obviously credit to your work.
Oh, thanks. I think I will be spending more time in the office. I think. I'm just. It's pretty much overseeing the 3 courses, and then it's more delegation to the head men underneath me. They'll be looking after the courses more. I'll just be making sure they get the money, get the enough money to buy their own fertilizers.
So are you excited about this, to put your stamp on the place?
I'll come eventually. I've been lucky enough to work under 2 good Links superintendents, as John Philp and Sandy Reid. So I'll take parts of what they did, and I'll put a new twist on it from my side as well. So
Perfect.
Got my own ideas. Might not be here next week.
From all of us at Turfs Up, we'd just like to wish you all the best for your new job, and thanks for joining us on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
That was our podcast with Craig Boath. I really enjoyed sitting down with him. He was great crack. I hope you all enjoyed listening to it and taking something from it. It was 22 minutes long. The conversation flowed really well. It felt like we'd been there for ages because it flowed so well. It did help that we'd had, probably 4 or 5 pints, which kind of helped things flow along quite well.
Why did we have 4 or 5 pints, Jack?
Somebody won an award. Yeah, it was Boath. He won an award for his CPD,
for his
wasn't it?
CPD,
Yeah,
that was it. Yeah.
No, obviously Stu won his award for the BIGGA Awards for the biggest project of the year. So yeah, well done, Stu. I mean, behind every successful person is me.
So let's thank Craig again and wish him well in his new role. We did in the podcast, but he was a great opening guest for us to speak to, nice and relaxed and stuff. So yeah, I mean, thank you to Craig. So to finish the podcast, we thought we'd have a little competition between me and Jack. We're very competitive, me and Jack. Not. So.
Oh no, that's argumentative. Sorry, Stu.
We're going to try and make it different every week, but actually, stupidly enough, we've left this in the hands of Adam. So God only knows what we'll be doing.
Well, I haven't even worked out what prize I've well, but
we've got to think out of a decent prize for this, because I'm not doing things that he's.
No doubt we're going to be getting stitched up, exactly, so it's got to be worthwhile. Exactly. But we'll come to that at the end. So like everything, we're going to blag it.
So here is the biggest question of all. Adam, what do you have in store for our first challenge?
Right, well, obviously, we've had Craig Boath, the head man at Carnoustie, so I thought to keep a link to that and the Open Championship. What I've arranged for you is to play the toughest par 3 on the Open Rotor, which is the 16th hole at Carnoustie. So,
Jack, you won't make it with your Billy 5 iron.
It was famously, Tom Watson played it 5 times during the Open in 75 and never made par. Played something like 240, often into the prevailing wind. So,
I'm quietly confident then with me 5 iron. Easy.
Well, I mean, you should get a bogey at least, or be on the green anyway.
So you're joking then?
I've arranged for you guys to play it, so you're gonna have to obviously start thinking what club selection, etc. We'll get on and do that straight after the podcast.
I don't even know whether he's joking or not, to be honest.
I'll record some of it. We'll get it on video. We'll release that on social media, or maybe drop a few clips of it at the end of the podcast for people. But we'll maybe just cover it next week's podcast. We'll just summarise how you guys got on.
Yeah. Also, we're going to be releasing this every week, this podcast. So if you can click like and subscribe, and it'll just automatically notify you when the new podcast comes out. That'll be great.
Yeah, please follow us on our Facebook page and Twitter at Turfs Up Golf, and we'll let you know how we got on next week.
We're playing it on the Xbox, aren't we? The way I thought we were going up the bloody road there, man.
I know.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to get there.
Oh, yeah! It's not. If you hadn't hit the flag, would have been on the bloody next one.
Oh, get out.
What a spawny git.